Someone asks you, "How are you?" Your mouth answers before your mind even checks. "I'm fine." You've said it in hallways at work, in text messages at midnight, at family dinners where something inside you was quietly breaking. "I'm fine." On the outside, it sounds polite, normal, even mature. But if you're honest, a lot of the times you said it, you were exhausted, overwhelmed, hurt, or just completely numb. It's such a small sentence, but for some people, it isn't small talk at all. It's a shield. It's a habit. It's a whole defense system built over years. If you're the kind of person who always says, "I'm fine," even when you're clearly not, there is a story behind that response. It didn't appear out of nowhere. It has roots, reasons, and a hidden cost. In this video, we are going to look at the psychology of people like you, why you learned to hide behind "I'm fine," what it's quietly doing to you, and what a calmer, more honest form of being unbreakable could look like. Because "I'm fine" isn't an emotion, it's armor. Think about the last week of your life. At work, someone might have noticed you were a bit quiet and asked, "You good with all this?" You replied, "Yeah, I'm fine, just a bit busy." With a friend, after they said something that actually hurt you, you heard yourself say, "It's fine, I'm fine, don't worry about it." Maybe a family member looked at you and said, "You seem tired lately, are you okay?" And you answered, "I'm fine, just haven't been sleeping well." The words come out so fast they almost feel automatic. There's hardly a pause, hardly a moment where you check in with yourself and ask, "Am I actually fine?" Of course, everyone uses "I'm fine" casually sometimes. There's a difference between normal social small talk and the person who never really admits when they're not okay. Maybe you've become the strong one of your friend group, the person who never breaks, the peacekeeper in your family, the one who smooths things over and says it's all okay, the high-functioning one, the one people describe as so put together, even when you feel anything but. If this sounds like you, your "I'm fine" probably isn't just politeness. It's part of a survival strategy you've been using for a long time. You learned somewhere along the way that your real emotions were either too much, not safe to show, or simply not going to be understood. So you learned to lock them up and replace them with two simple words, "I'm fine." To understand why that became your default, we have to look at what those words are actually protecting. For a lot of people who always say "I'm fine," there was a time when they didn't. Maybe you opened up once and were told you were overreacting. You cried and someone said, "Stop being dramatic." You shared something vulnerable and heard, "You think you have problems? Other people have it way worse." Or maybe you were praised for being so mature for your age, so independent, so low maintenance. Adults around you were dealing with their own chaos, so you unconsciously decided, "I won't add to their problems. I'll handle myself." In that kind of environment, being honest about how you feel doesn't feel like honesty. It feels like danger. Underneath the constant "I'm fine," there are often a few deep beliefs. If I show I'm not okay, I'll be a burden. If I admit I'm struggling, people will see me as weak or unstable. Even if I say something, nothing will really change, so what's the point? So you protect yourself. You protect others. You shrink your needs down to something socially acceptable. "I'm fine." But that protection comes at a cost. Over time, people stop asking real questions. They assume you're genuinely okay, because that's what you keep telling them. Conversations stay on the surface. They talk to you about their problems, but rarely see yours. They think, "You're strong, you don't need help. You're chill, nothing ever really gets to you." And slowly, without meaning to, your relationships become polite but shallow. The cost isn't just to your connections. It's also to your connection with yourself. When you say "I'm fine" enough times, you stop checking what you actually feel. You start living in a fog of "I'm just tired, I'm just busy, I'm just stressed." You feel an ache in your chest but don't have words for it. You feel irritated, but you can't explain why. You feel empty, but you tell yourself, "Other people have it worse, I should be grateful." You become a character in your own life, the strong one, the calm one, the one who can handle anything, even when you're not handling it at all. The very thing that once protected you, being the one who's fine, starts to quietly isolate you. You built a wall to survive, and then you had to live alone behind it. This strategy made sense. It kept you safe in environments that didn't know what to do with your pain. But now, in your current life, it might be doing something else. It makes you look unbreakable, while quietly breaking you. So if I'm fine isn't really strength, what is? There's a common misunderstanding about strength. We're often told that strong people don't cry, don't complain, don't need help, always say, I'm fine. But real strength isn't about feeling nothing. It's about not letting what you feel make you abandon yourself. Think about it this way. If you break your leg and say, I'm fine, I don't need a doctor, that doesn't make you strong. It makes you reckless with your own well-being. The same is true emotionally. Saying I'm fine when you're not doesn't make you unbreakable. It just keeps you from giving yourself what you actually need. Philosophies like Stoicism are often misunderstood as never show emotion, never be bothered. But at their core, they're about seeing reality clearly and responding with intention instead of panic. That includes seeing your own internal reality clearly. True resilience is not, nothing can hurt me. True resilience sounds more like, yes, this hurts. I'm not fine, but I'm still here, and I'm not going to abandon myself. You don't owe your full story to everyone. Not every stranger, coworker, or family member has earned the right to see the inside of your mind. But you do owe yourself the truth. A new version of I'm fine might look like this. Internally, I'm functioning, but I'm also really tired and sad right now. With someone you trust, I'm managing, but honestly, it's been a lot lately. When you're not ready to talk, I'm not great, but I'm not ready to get into it. You can still be the reliable one, the stable one, the person others look up to. But stability doesn't have to mean silence. Strength and vulnerability aren't opposites. Very often, vulnerability is what strength actually looks like from the inside. Unbreakable doesn't mean untouched by life. It means that even when life leaves marks on you, you don't respond by disappearing from yourself. Resolution, integration. So what do you actually do with all of this? You don't need to swing from I'm fine to spilling your entire heart to everyone. You don't need to perform your pain to prove you're honest. You can start with very small, very private steps. The next time you hear yourself say, I'm fine, let that be your cue. You can keep the words on the outside if you need to, but on the inside, add one more sentence. I'm fine enough to get through the day, but I'm also tired, hurt, lonely, overwhelmed. Name what's actually there, even if only in your own mind. That single act reconnects you with yourself. Then, consider choosing one or two people in your life that feel at least somewhat safe. You don't have to dump everything on them. You can start with softer honesty. I'm okay, but this week has been heavier than I expected. I'm managing, but I don't feel like myself lately. I'm not really ready to talk, but I could use some company. You might be surprised how many people in your life have been waiting for permission to show up for you. And you're allowed to set boundaries while you do this. It's completely valid to say, I'm not okay, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. That's still honesty. That's still strength. Being the strong one doesn't mean the silent one. It can mean you recognize your limits. You don't pretend things are light when they're heavy. You choose carefully who you open up to and when. Remember, this habit of saying I'm fine has been built over years, maybe decades. It formed for good reasons. You don't have to destroy it overnight. But every time you allow yourself a little more truth, even silently, you're making a small crack in the old armor. Not to let everything in and overwhelm you, but to finally let yourself breathe. Being unbreakable isn't about never bending or never bleeding. It's about staying on your own side, even when you're not fine. Take a moment and think about the last time you said, I'm fine, when you really weren't. What were you actually feeling underneath? If this video felt uncomfortably accurate, you're not the only one. You can type me in the comments or share as much or as little as you want. Sometimes even anonymous honesty is a first step. And if you want more videos that explain the psychology behind your quiet habits and help you build a calmer, more unbreakable inner life, you can subscribe and watch the next one on why some people never ask for help even when they're drowning. You don't have to be fine to keep going. You just have to stop leaving yourself behind.